Coming to you from Australia, it's Idiot Box Radio. Please welcome the hardest working Type 2 diabetic in podcasting. It's Idiot Box Radio with your host, Tori.
Hey there guys, I'm Tori. How you doing? I'm really stoked to bring you this movie review. I went to the movies to Gold Class. That's a little bit of a premium thing that we've got over here in Australia. And I saw The Batman. Do I like it? I'm thrilled with this movie. I am a Batman fan. Anyone knows me. I love Batman. I have for a very long time. I've got so many comic books. It's ridiculous, like the hardcover premium edition. I love Batman. I love the fact that he is the Dark Knight, the greatest detective on earth. He doesn't have superpowers, but he's brainy and he can fight like a motherfucker. In any case, I was super stoked for this one. It's starring Robert Pattinson. I don't want to say, Edward from Twilight, but it is. The thing is though, I want you, if there's a lot of people who go, oh, Robert Pattinson, he can, Twilight, fucking angsty vampire. He's done tons of other really good movies and this guy can act up a storm. And to be honest, I like Twilight. I did not mind it at all. I knew what I was getting into. I'd read the books and the movies were done to the tone of the books perfectly. So they were teen sort of vampire love story and they did it perfectly. They weren't meant to be hardcore vampire movies and they weren't. Okay, so The Batman. It's not like, Batman Dark Knight Rises or Batman Electric Boogaloo. This is The Batman, and here's the deal. Imagine, like I have in my comic book reading, I'm familiar with Batman. And I love the fact that this is in the Batman has only been Batman for 2 years at this point. He's in Gotham City. This movie, there's not a lot of fantastic elements to it. There's not a lot of costume in it, or if there are, they're very homemade costumes. In fact, Batman has got the most complete costume out of them all. The Riddler basically just wears a big parka and wraps his face up. The Penguin doesn't wobble around and have little baby penguins going after him, which I do find charming, like from the comic book sense. If you've ever played the Arkham Asylum series, by Rocksteady, you have a greater feel for what this movie's going to be like. The thing I love about this though, there's no real focus on his gadgets. There's a couple of times when like his bat suit becomes a wingsuit, which is pretty cool, and he flies it through the city, but not all the time, and it's done once. The Batmobile is not the Batmobile that we're used to. It looks like just an American muscle car with a rocket engine or jet engine connected to the back. It's a very organic feel though. That's what I do like about this, and the whole movie itself is simply It's a detective story. It's a mystery to be solved. We go through a very human Gotham City all the way to the gates of Arkham, and Batman is trying to solve the disappearance and murder of a Russian lady. There's a lot more to it than that, but at the end of the day, it's a detective story. He's following up leads. He's working with then Lieutenant Gordon. The movie is chock-packed full of characters that you're going to recognize. We focus mainly on the story between the Riddler, the Penguin, Batman, and Catwoman, played by Zoe Kravitz, who does a fantastic job. Little bits go weird in there, like they try to sort of build up a bit of a sexy time between Batman and Catwoman. It's not realized properly. They kiss on one occasion. That's not a real spoiler. It comes out straight away, but the character development isn't such that they are tumultuous in their relationship. It isn't just like, oh wow, we can't keep our hands off each other. It is, I think it's well done. There were complaints about this particular relationship, but I like it. And I do think that the pacing was okay. It's okay for people to kiss under stress or duress or durex. And I think that the whole thing is done super well. Gotham looks fantastic. It is gnarly, depressing, and dank. There are some sort of shining moments, but for the most part, imagine just going into this seedy underground world. The relationship between Bruce Wayne and Alfred, played by Andy Serkis, is strained. Andy Serkis does a really good job at being Alfred, I believe. I think the whole movie was beautiful. It went for 3 hours. I didn't wonder what the time was at any stage. It felt like it went a lot shorter than that. And the whole thing, I think, was just a staggeringly good effing time that I think the rest of you will really get into. He is a very homespun Batman, finding his way into the cowl. And as a result, he is a smart man, but he's young. He's so young. Robert Pattinson does such a good job as Batman. I can't wait to see him do more of it. The only parts I didn't really like were, and this wouldn't have even been his choice, that like he had the angsty hair brushed over his eyes as Bruce Wayne. It wasn't even a modern contemporary hairstyle, in my opinion, for someone who is a billionaire. That part was not convincing to me, but as Batman, he knocked it out of the fucking park. And I do think that even with slight cosmetic changes to his appearance in the following movies, that this will be corrected tenfold. Everything comes together nicely. There aren't any real holes in the script. It's been well thought out. It feels as though the director, I can't remember his name. Who cares? I'm watching the bloody movie. But it feels like he tried to pull from a whole heap of different resources or reference points. At times that feels just the smidgen contrived if you really want to pick at stuff. But ultimately, I think this is a triumphant story. And it's, for me, it is interesting to see a movie where this is a young Batman. This is a Batman without much impulse control, a brutality within him. He smashes people to the point with such brutality they don't show it. But there is no way that some of these people that he attacks in this movie in particular, there's no way he didn't kill them. The blows to the head, repeated off-camera blows to the head. Those people are dead. They're not in hospital. I think, and I do think there was a comic that sort of dealt with this before. Like Batman always had his I don't want to kill, but in one of them, I think it was like an Elseworld sort of thing where he does. Not because he loves it, it's just a way of him dealing with the criminals. This one, I think it's more that Batman knows that he's often outnumbered, and in order to not be overwhelmed, he has to put them down. And there's a brutality to the way, like he's clubbing them. He's not punching them, he's clubbing them, which was a fighting style that was I've seen in other Batman comics, movies. It's more clubbing, and that apparently is a fighting technique used by some people because ultimately they may have to use their hands to hold other weapons. They don't want to break their fingers punching someone, so they will club. And also, often the Batman does have like the jagged edges coming off the edges of his suit, so he can use those as like bladed weapons as well to mince people up. It was so good. I'm going to go see it again before it leaves the cinema. I utterly adored it, but guys, I love Batman. So I want to give it 9.5. I know in my heart it doesn't deserve that. I'm going to give it 4.25 out of 5 or 8 out of 10. It was 8.5 out of 10. Fuck maths. I loved it and I can't wait to see more. I can't wait to watch it again. I hope you get to go see it at the cinema. I'm going to see it again at the cinema at least once more, hopefully twice. And then I am going to most certainly be buying whatever deluxe edition of it becomes available because it's Batman and it was done really well. It's just interesting to see where all this is going, and you'll see some characters that you want to see more of. So just pray that they're in the next one. All right. Cheers. Subscribe, like, join, follow me on TikTok where you'll see me stream live. Not about movie reviews. I play games with you online. And of course, please become a patron. Follow the link below and you can get your name at the end of the show, just like these good people did. I'll catch you later. Bye.